The grand hall of crystalline spires stretched impossibly high, its translucent walls refracting starlight into cascading rainbows that danced across the assembled crowd. Princess Jathera of the Varinthian Empire sat upon her levitating throne, her bioluminescent skin pulsing with patterns of profound boredom. For 3 solar cycles, suitors from across the galaxy had presented themselves, each more grandiose than the last. Kevin stood at the back of the hall, hands clasped behind his back, observing. He was there purely by diplomatic accident, a junior cultural attach from Earth who'd been swept up in Ambassador Chun's entourage, while other humans in the delegation whispered and pointed at the spectacle. Kevin simply watched, his dark eyes taking in every detail with quiet intensity. "I have conquered 17 star systems," bellowed Lord Crackster, his forearms spread wide, each hand clutching a weapon of devastating power. "My fleets darken the void between worlds." Princess Jathera's chromatophores shifted to a dull growth, of Varinthian equivalent of a yawn. "Rejected," she said, her voice carrying the harmonic overtones of her species' complex vocal cords. Next, a crystalline being of pure energy materialized, its form crackling with barely contained power. "I am eternal consciousness, Princess. I have existed since the birth of galaxies. I offer you immortality and knowledge beyond comprehension." Rejected. Another flash of gray disinterest. One by one, they came. The merchant prince of Andromeda, who offered wealth beyond measure. The psionic masters of Theta Centauri, who could reshape reality with thought alone. The warrior queen of the Razan Dominion, who had never lost a battle. The philosopher poets of New Helios, who composed symphonies in quantum mathematics. All rejected. Jasmine, Earth's ambassador and Kevin's superior, leaned toward him. "This is unprecedented," she whispered. 3 days, and she's refused everyone. The Varinthian court is getting restless. If she doesn't choose someone soon, it could trigger a diplomatic crisis across 6 sectors. Kevin nodded slightly but said nothing, his attention fixed on the princess. He'd noticed something others hadn't, the subtle way her luminescence dimmed slightly with each boastful declaration, how her secondary eyelids flickered when suitors spoke of conquest and domination. "Perhaps," rumbled Ambassador Chen, "we should withdraw. We're clearly out of our depth here. Earth has nothing to offer that compares to these displays." As the ambassador turned to leave, Princess Jathera's voice rang out, sharp and clear. "Wait." The entire hall fell silent. Every being, from the plasma entities to the silicon-based hive minds, turned to look. The princess's skin blazed suddenly with brilliant azure and gold colors of intense interest. She was looking directly at Kevin. "You, the human in the back, the one who hasn't spoken." Kevin felt hundreds of alien eyes focus on him. He stepped forward calmly, his footsteps echoing in the suddenly quiet hall. He stopped at the appropriate distance, offering the bow he'd practiced, neither too deep nor too shallow, respecting protocol without subservience. "Your Highness," he said simply. 3 days I have listened to beings proclaim their greatness," the princess said. Descending from her throne for the first time, she moved toward him with fluid grace, her form shifting through colors he'd never seen before. "They speak of what they have conquered, what they possess, what they can take. But you have stood silent. Why?" Kevin met her multifaceted gaze steadily. "Because listening seemed more important than speaking, Your Highness." A ripple of shocked murmurs spread through the hall. Lord Crackster's growl of indignation was audible even from the back. "And what?" the princess asked, now standing mere feet from him, her bioluminescence casting strange shadows across his face. "Have you learned from listening?" Kevin considered his words carefully. "That you're tired, not of suitors, but of being treated as a prize to be won rather than a person to be known. Every being here has spoken of themselves, their power, their wealth, their achievements. No one has asked you what you want. No one has asked you who you are." The princess's colors shifted rapidly. Surprise, recognition, something that might have been relief. "And if I asked you what Earth offers as a dowry for an alliance with the Varinthian Empire?" "We offer nothing you don't already have," Kevin said honestly. "We're not the strongest species, or the wealthiest, or the oldest. We're young, we're often foolish, and we make mistakes constantly. Then why should I consider you?" "You shouldn't," Kevin replied. "But if I may be bold, Your Highness, this isn't about Earth or alliances. It's about you being forced to choose a stranger to share your life with because politics demands it." The hall erupted in outraged voices. Several suitors surged forward, stopped only by the princess's raised hand. Her skin blazed now with colors Kevin suspected were rarely seen, deep purples and crimsons that seemed to pulse with emotion. "You speak treason," Lord Crackster snarled, "insulting the sacred traditions of the royal selection." But Princess Jathera was laughing, a sound like wind chimes in a crystal cave. "Treason, no truth." She turned to face the assembled crowd. "For 3 days, you have all tried to convince me why you deserve to be chosen. This human is the first to suggest that perhaps I shouldn't have to choose at all." She looked back at Kevin, her colors now a steady, warm amber. "What is your name?" "Kevin, Your Highness." "Kevin Torres. Kevin Torres of Earth," she said formally. "I reject all suitors present today. Instead, I invoke the ancient right of choice deferred, which allows me 1 solar cycle to reconsider." Her luminescence intensified, and I request that Ambassador Jasmine's delegation remain on Varinthia during this time. I find I have many questions about humanity, questions I would like answered by someone who listens. As chaos erupted in the Grand Hall, with suitors protesting and courtiers scrambling, Jasmine grabbed Kevin's arm, her expression caught between shock and amusement. Did you just accidentally court an alien princess by telling her she doesn't have to get married? Kevin watched as Princess Jathera handled the pandemonium with practiced grace, her colors shifting commandingly as she addressed her court. I don't think it was an accident, he said quietly. I think sometimes the most human thing we can offer is the freedom to choose or not choose at all. The princess caught his eye across the chaos, and her colors rippled, with what the Varinthian linguistic database would later identify as hope. Perhaps, Kevin thought, being silent and listening was sometimes the most powerful thing anyone could do.